Coming up this morning on Daybreak, team coverage following a long night of severe weather in the Ozarks, including Hannah Zettel, who was in Ozark, where a neighborhood is hit hard by storms.
And we'll also need to take a look at the damage from storms in Wheaton in Berry County, where there's damage to multiple structures.
Plus, those storms also caused heavy damage down in Arkansas, uprooting trees and more. We'll have a look at that and plenty more coming up for you this morning on Daybreak.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. It's Wednesday, May 1st. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Moreno. It was a long night for maybe you guys at home that were trying to take cover and seek shelter. Our weather team has been at work since 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So we want to check in this morning with Elisa Rappa, who's still here. She's bringing us the forecast first this morning.
Still here, guys. We have aerial flood warnings in effect this morning. This is the most immediate threat right now. No severe weather, but residual flooding from all of that heavy rain yesterday. We don't have any severe weather this morning, but some plain old rain is shifting to the south and east, so things still a little bit wet. It's 59 in Springfield and 59 at Lake of the Ozarks. Could have a little bit of a lull in the storms by dismissal. Temperature at 75 degrees, but if we bubble up that atmosphere again, we could be dealing with at least another 1 or 2 strong to severe storms, so we have to monitor. Details on that in 10 minutes.
And as we mentioned, we have team coverage of damage and what will become recovery efforts as the sun rises today after those storms rolled through yesterday. One area specifically in Ozark saw heavy damage to homes and cars.
And that's where we find Hannah Zettel this morning in Ozark and surveying the damage. Hannah, what neighborhood are you in right now?
Good morning, Lauren and Joe. I'm in the Waterford neighborhood of Ozark, where this entire neighborhood has suffered severe damage from the storms last night. One neighbor told me that happened at about 9 p.m. when the warning came, and he did hunker down with his family. His children were very shaken up. His pets were very shaken up, but waking up this morning, he's just happy to be alive and happy to have everybody kind of doing well. He did go door to door as soon as things were safe to check on neighbors. He did help one neighbor out of her home and to get to the hospital. He went to another elderly couple that he lives by, and they did have a storm shelter in their basement that they were able to take cover in, but the houses are just totally ripped apart. There are roofs gone, there's insulation everywhere, there's wood everywhere. It's just a total loss to this neighborhood, and houses that don't have exterior damage do have interior damage. The man we spoke with doesn't have much on the outside, but the inside, he said, is just totally flooding, and he'll likely lose everything that he owns. But he is counting his blessings and his children's health, him and his family's health. His neighbors are okay. Police were patrolling the area earlier this morning. Now as the sun comes up, neighbors are waking up and going door to door and seeing what they can do to help. School is out today in Ozark, so families can take that time to kind of do a head count, see what they can save. But we'll be back in a little bit in Ozark. Hannah Zettel, Ozarks First.
All right, Hannah, thank you. That scene there behind you is really a testament to that this storm system was unlike anything we've seen here in recent years. Certainly,
and our storm team here was on the air 7.5 hours straight last night, keeping the area up to date on constant tornado warnings and flash flood alerts. Elisa Rappa was part of that coverage all along. She's back here this morning in the weather lab to continue our coverage this morning.
Yeah, those images of the damage behind Hannah, very chilling this morning. And I wanted to just share some more pictures that we've got with you into the weather lab. We've got lots of them last night. This one is of a wall cloud that was spotted near Branson. There were also some pretty nasty storms that came through Taney and Stone counties down there in Branson. That wall cloud spotted there. This tree snapped from that wind damage also in the Branson area. And again, of course, the focus while it's happening is tornadoes, but we had significant flash flooding. These are pictures out of Ava. You could see that water just came down so quickly. The streets started to look like rivers in parts of Ava. Teresa Tost sent us this picture. So here's the map of storm reports. They will get added to as we head through the day and as the Weather Service does these storm reports. Multiple streets closed up in Stockton because of that flash flooding. This is the tornado that Hannah Zettel, that site that she was just at, there in Fremont Hills near Ozark, with those roofs torn off. Miller could have had more than one tornado touchdown. We were tracking that area very closely yesterday. Wheaton, also another area with some extensive damage, and that could have also dropped multiple tornadoes on that line. And then Bergman in Boone County, northern Arkansas, had some significant damage. We got video of that big tornado, and that one also took a couple of spin-ups up to the north. So I wanted to look at what have been the major outbreaks in the Ozarks, because this we haven't seen in at least within the last decade. 33 tornadoes back in January of 2008, 18 tornadoes in an outbreak in May 2009. May 2003 had 15 tornadoes and 12 tornadoes back in March of 2006. Again, the good part about this so far is that we have not had any injury or fatality reports, and the Weather Service will do more on that survey damage today to get a final number on that tornado count for us. Joe, Lauren.
Elisa, thank you. Also happening now, Springfield City Utilities posted these photos of downed power lines on Highway 60 just east of town. A total of 17 power poles broke, and City Utilities officials on Facebook calling it what it is, a mess. Crews spent the night trying to clean everything up, but believe it will take a good part of today to get everything back up and running. This, as many people across the Ozarks are still without power. Last night, more than 7,000 homes were without power just in our viewing area. Utility crews have worked around the clock and have brought that number down to around 4,000 right now.
And the Logan-Rogersville Fire Protection District says the storm caused damage throughout its district. Fire crews have several buildings with varying levels of damage. As you can see on some of these pictures posted, that most of the damage occurred in the area near U.S. Highway 60 and Harmony. The fire district also warned residents of several downed power lines and roadways covered by debris or water. Police have set up a command center near the Meeks building that's on Highway 60, and this storm brought with it rounds of a heavy rain that will lead to low water crossings becoming flooded. The MoDOT Travelers Map is a good tool to utilize in these instances. Several areas experiencing issues with flooding already, as several road closures due to flooding are happening in Douglas County and counties to the east of Springfield. Also noteworthy, Route F eastbound at Bull Creek in Taney County is also closed. So we've seen also reports that the Branson campground by the landing is being evacuated because of flood threats. And we have even more video that we got of the tornado that was spotted in Wheaton. Storm chasers Jason Bloom and Dave Toner shared this video with us as they see some harrowing images here.
The city of Wheaton suffered some of the worst damage from the storm system that tore through the Ozarks, but as of now we can report, like Elisa said, no injuries we know of, just some near misses and quite a bit of property damage to show you. We spoke to a homeowner named Debbie Brown. She was home alone when the tornado came through and tried to run her to her neighbor's cellar, but once she got there it was locked. She looked up into the sky and saw a tornado a few hundred yards away, making a quick decision.
So I just thought, oh my God, it's my time. I got to get the bathtub. So I grabbed a couple blankets, got in there, got my head covered. My husband called and was crying and bawling and yelling because he was stuck over here and couldn't get to me. I called my daughter and told her that I loved her, and then everything went silent, and I thought, oh my God, it's coming. And then it was just like a crushing noise, and I guess that's when it hit or when this big tree came up.
Undoubtedly thankful that she's here to tell that story today. Her neighbors saw the worst of the damage, including Wheaton's fire chief, whose roof ripped off his home. But about 5 minutes southwest of there, at the Southwest auction, multiple buildings were a total loss, including a two-story home that collapsed in on itself. No one was home at that time, thankfully. We spoke with the owner of the auction barn, Bob Hughes, who described the phone calls with his family and employees before the tornado hit, as he was about 10 minutes away.
So I called my employees, and my daughter and son both work here, as well as about 10 other people, and told them to pack up, go home about, I don't know, it was 3:30. And they said the sun was shining, it looked beautiful here, wasn't any reason for alarm. I called back 5 minutes later and I said that tornado's supposed to be there in 10 minutes, get everybody out of there and go home. My daughter got 5 miles from here, my office secretary's got 5 miles from here, all the employees got about 5 miles from here, and then the tornado hit.
Now, people at the Wheaton Fire Department will also spend the night and into today helping residents get things out of their homes. Crews will also be there to survey the damage.
And because of the amount of damage and the effort it'll take to fully assess all of that, both Wheaton and Ozark school districts have canceled classes today. So again, we want to reiterate and give you a reminder this morning. Our weather team was on the air for 7.5 straight hours yesterday, trying to keep you safe at home and take alert. We understand that you missed some CBS programming last night as well. CBS.com will stream those shows you may have missed for free up to 5 days, where you can watch online.
And thank you to those who were patient with us. Tornadoes don't impact everyone at the same time. So thank you for everybody who, again, was patient with us as we did our job to save lives and property. We're tracking just some showers this morning. No severe weather. We're dealing with, though, residual flash flooding and possibly another severe threat today. Details on all of that right after the break.